All right, my little art friends, today we're going to look at the Renaissance. Not the whole Renaissance, just the early Renaissance. And because it's so much stuff going on, we got to break it down into early and high Renaissance. And what happened was, it started in Florence, Italy around the 1400s. Now, Renaissance means rebirth. Remember how I told you all, like, they had those Greek statues and the Roman statues, and they were really understood proportion, and then we had the Middle Ages, and everyone was drawing man babies. Well, the Renaissance is a rebirth of that original idea. They were like, hey, we're going to learn how to draw and paint really good. So, we're going to take a look at three important people of the early Renaissance. Number one, Masaccio. Masaccio, he's cool because he was the first one to use one-point perspective. Look at this picture right here. It's called Holy Trinity. It's a famous piece of art because it uses perspective. Look, there's the focal point and the vanishing point, and it's going up, and you can see it's got one-point perspective. Now, it's not like incredible, but it made the roof look really realistic. And people were like, hey, I think I can like walk behind that painting because it looks so realistic. And then people were like, no, don't do it. And they bump into the wall. Oh, sorry. Oh, it was so realistic. I thought I could walk behind it. The other cool thing was at the bottom here, it says something. You see the dead guy right there? What does it say? It says, what you are, I once was. What I am, you surely will become. What does that even mean? Well, that means like he used to be alive and now he died. And now someday you're going to be dead too, so you better take things seriously. Anyway, Masaccio did another piece of artwork called The Expulsion. Now later on, Michelangelo is going to do a very same idea concept for the same painting, but we're going to look at that later, so don't get ahead of ourselves. All right, this painting right here, basically Adam and Eve getting kicked out of the garden, and there's a little angel up above him. Now you see the fig leaves there? They got painted on later. But you know what? They cleaned it up, and here's what it looks like now after they cleaned it up. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I like this one because it really looks like they look pretty sad about getting kicked out of the garden. All right, Donatello's our next artist. No, not the turtle, the artist. There he is. So a couple pieces Donatello made. The Bronze David. Now this is the piece of artwork that represents David and Goliath, right? So that's little young David, and he's stepping on the head of a giant down there. Can you see that? Later on, Michelangelo is going to do this same topic using marble, and it's kind of gonna, more people know that than they know this one. But I just wanted you to know that he did it. Look, here he is stepping on his head. Whoa, that's cool. All right, here's another piece that Donatello did. It's this guy right here. He's riding a horse, and you're probably like, well, what's the big deal? And it's called the honey cat, or gata malata. Now, the cool thing about this is it's standing on this little orb. What does that even mean? Well, that means that the person riding the horse was in charge of the whole earth. But you know what? The guy on the horse is just a regular old soldier. He wasn't a famous general or anything. You couldn't do that back then. That's ridiculous. But he did it anyway, and people were like, wow, that's really cool. I want you to make a picture of me on a horse like that. And he got really famous for it. Okay, last artist, Sandro Botticelli. Now, I like Botticelli. Now, you probably know Botticelli because you might have seen this piece of work right here. It's called Birth of Venus, and it's like Venus is riding a shell and she's coming out of the ocean, and all these other guys around her are like gonna wrap her up in a towel, and they're blowing wind on her and stuff like that. And the person that he used as a model was Simonetta Vespucci. Now that's kind of interesting because he did other paintings and he used the same model. Like these two paintings here both went into this little cottage here. They had like a little summer shack. The people who bought it, they were really rich. So anyway, they had it. Now check it out. You can see there's Vespucci. Now, there she is again. That's crazy. Now, there she is again. What? How many Vespuccis can you paint? Like a whole bunch of them. Look at that. I think he had a crush on Simonetta Vespucci. I don't know. Anyway, today you can buy like Sandro Botticelli on the cover of Adobe Illustrator. Well, you used to be able to. Now it's all online. Anyway, you could get a light switch, and you could even Andy Warhol painted her one time. So anyway, that's a whole bunch of early Renaissance artists all wrapped up, and I went really quick. And I hope you got it all down. Did you write it down? Okay, good.